Hey YouTube. So tonight was the return, finally the return of Walking Dead season 7B or whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of good stuff that happened. But I'm gonna break it down or review it or whatever. So first thing that happened, it basically picked up where it left off, more or less. Except instead of the perspective on the outsider, it was perspective on Gabriel. It showed like him coming down from his post, and all of a sudden he's collecting all the cans and just rummaging everything, and then just leaving in the dead of night, completely out of nowhere. This is probably the last time we see Gabriel in this episode, and then it just, what the hell, Then all of a sudden he changed his mind and decided to say, screw you guys, you're nothing but evil, or what the hell is happening. And next they cut to the hilltop, and we can see Gregory is still like acting like an ass, still acting like he's superior and intentionally forgetting everybody's name. Actually, I seen the talk the Talking Dead after show, and it's funny because the actor that plays Gregory, the actor that plays Gregory was just obviously saying just some random ass lines, and usually actors, save their own lines. So when he called Rick a different name, that totally caught him by surprise. But that reaction in the show, the way he looked at him like all weird, that was actually real. And I like stories like that. Kind of give actors, like more human side, I guess. So when the meeting is going on, they're just like Daryl being Daryl, I guess. It's just kind of just saying like, you're acting like really Two Face in other words, which is fun, which is interesting because he's supposedly supposed to be the leader of the hilltop, but he's not acting like a leader at all. He just a guy that's on top, a guy that's there, but when it comes to actually doing things, it's like, I'd rather not do anything. I just screw it. I don't care, whatever. And then after the meeting is over, the people of Hilltop is like, is it true? They go to Maggie. The first thing they go to Maggie, they say, "Is it true? Do you think you could take on the survivors?" Like with they look at her to a ray of hope. You know, and then afterwards they find they take him to the kingdom. You know, and it's funny because like it feels kind of like a little bit biblical Bible, from the Bible, I guess, because obviously Jesus and the kingdom and King Ezekiel and all that shit. You know, and it's funny because Rick is kind of like the kingdom, and Jesus replies like, I didn't name it. I think that might have been, in my opinion, I think it felt kind of like uh, uh break the fourth wall, meta humor. I was gonna say that the other day, but I totally forgot what the hell the word was. It's like meta humor. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny, like, and it's really weird because it's like Greg Nicotero both directed the season 7 premiere and this episode, and the tonally it's just completely absolutely different. Tone for that episode felt so gloomy and so horrifying, and so, in fact, when I watched a snippet of it at work in break room, it was just the most depressing episode I've ever seen. Tonally it just felt the pure embodiment of a post-apocalyptic setting. It was just so, holy shit, I feel so shitty. Because episode before, I mean, it was like, yeah, sure, it's the apocalypse, but it wouldn't be so bad. The situation wouldn't be so deathly shitty. But it's funny how in this episode it felt a little bit more triumphant. It felt more like, yeah, the team's back together. We're a unit now. We can take this shit on. You know, and then they leave. Oh yeah. Okay. So still at the saviors. No, sorry, not the saviors. The kingdom. Yeah, they're still at the kingdom. And honestly, it felt like a reunion episode. When Morgan came out, I wanted freaking Carol to come out. Then I just remember, oh yeah, she went in hiding. So it's not likely that she's gonna reunite with the group. But So yeah, no, no, yeah, whatever. I'm getting off the subject. Whatever. So they finally meet Ezekiel, and I think it's kind of funny because they have a similar reaction to Carol. You know, Carol just kind of, just have this weird kind of like, you know, like thinks it's just all like, what the hell is this? Just it feels like it's some kind of dream or whatever. And they see that tiger, and it's like, okay, shit, we're gonna just hurdle behind here, and we're not gonna take a step forward. And then I think it's Jesus that introduces them and said like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention to you, he has a tiger. And then later they're all cool with it. It's like, okay, I guess he's tamed. Okay, well, just walk forward and stay our business. So as they're talking, um, all of a sudden, it slips out. It just slips out naturally. Like you're keeping a secret from someone, and you forgot you're keeping a secret, and then it's like, oh yeah, and Negan killed some people, and then Morgan's like, what? And then she goes on to say like who he killed and all that other shit, and you can see the look on his face because he feels conflicted because he says like when he was saving Carol, it's like, well, yeah, I killed some people, and that just remorseness, like that his whole character arc is like him not killing people and him just essentially becoming kind of like Batman in a way. It's like that no kill rule, but the line begins to kind of get muddled. It's like you obviously you don't want to kill, and I understand that, but at the same time, this is kind of like a kill or be killed kind of situation. So if you don't kill, it kind of comes back to you. In this case of Negan, I mean, I know he couldn't have no control of Negan, he didn't create Negan, but I'm just saying, in a situation like that where you get this force that just killed everything because you did it wrong on my part, you know. So it's just kind of like essentially like Keith Negan killed some of Rick's people because Rick's people killed some of Negan's people, and it's kind of like a cycle. But like I'm saying, in this type of situation they're in, they don't really have much of a choice. But he's kind of like surprised, like the news is like, oh shit. But at the same time, it's like, you kind of expect them to be like, okay, now your time to say, yeah, we're in on it, because basically like um Ezekiel gets a final say from Morgan. And since Morgan essentially, he didn't say no, he didn't say yes. He's like, no, not really, no. That's essentially like, oh no, okay, I changed my mind. Bye. So yeah, he's just trying to change his mind, and saying like, like kind of like the title of the episode is like some shit, it's, rock in the road. Yeah, the rock in the road. So he kind of tells this speech about like back in old time there was like a rock in the road, and then people would pass it like whatever. And then there was one time where like a horse carrying like some beer for some people to sell so they can make a profit and get some money for themselves. It falls over because the horse uh, 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 bumped into that rock or whatever, and thus ruining everything. So he's kind of using that illusions that Negan is the rock, and the kingdom being King Ezekiel. If he doesn't do anything, it's basically on his head that he had the opportunity to do something, but he chose not to. So creating this whole situation, and it just I kind of expected it because you can't really be on board like on the first day. It needs to like a few episodes later to be like, okay, I'm on board. Let's go do with it. Let's get it done with. I think I'm rambling on a little bit. I'm just gonna skip some stuff because it's like a little bit later. You know what I mean? Um. Okay, yeah. They're at the prison. I thought Daryl got left at the hilltop, but he got left at the prison, which is actually a good idea. You know, and it becomes a good idea in the later in the episode, which I probably will get to more likely. I'm not surely sure. Anyway, and then it's funny because Daryl's like kind of like has this look on his face like, shit, I'm being left behind again. Not again. You said the group was back together. Apparently not. You know, but it's smart idea. Well, I'm just gonna skip like later on. Like skip later in the episode. Basically, like obviously, duh. Dwight and his crew is like come looking through the place, like we're looking for Negan. I mean, not Negan. We're looking for Daryl, and if Daryl is here, you're gonna have to kill him. Whatever. I'm like, well, shit. You know, there was a good reason for him having to stay behind. Yeah, Rick uses his head. That meme. Like, whatever. Um, yeah. No, but just the look on his face is just kind of like says like, well, I'm getting trapped again. I'm in jail again. All right. Except the only difference is you're not being mentally tortured, so there's a win, dude. You know. Okay, yeah. Okay, the mission, the bombs, dude. I mean, shit. That shit was risky as hell, and they should have left that shit alone. They should have just got another car and said, you know what, screw this. This is probably for someone else, not for us. Let's go somewhere else or whatever. But I guess in some ways it's like filled some time, but in other ways it was like kind of like another instance for the team to work together. And dude, that scene was so high stakes. I felt like I was playing a Batman game, because like when you're done with a mission and then you get back to the area that you were earlier, and then there's suddenly bombs and there's suddenly a big obstacles or whatever. It felt like high stakes of that nature. It felt like that crazy. That shit crazy. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. More or less. Oh, yeah. The last bit of the episode. The last bit of the episode is like when they're surrounded and shit. I was like, oh damn, they really had it in this time. Like this, how it ends. Freaking, I thought Negan's man just came out of nowhere and whatever, and then they pan closer to the people, and I'm like, oh shit, they're all women. And then I also thought, oh shit, it's a Oceanside people, the Oceanside cult. I call they go by a different name, but I just call them the Oceanside cult because that sounds better. And then at the last episode, Rick had this grin, like all serious, and instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna, with his gun or whatever, it's like it just. At first, I was like, dude, what the hell? And then as soon as commercial went to blank, the episode was over. Like, oh shit! I know what's gonna happen in the next episode. I have a feeling that I know what's gonna happen in the next episode, and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. So I think that's it for my review of season episode season. Wow, I got shit confused. Sorry, I'm just excited. Season 7B episode 9, A Rock in the Road. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell for notified for future videos. I'm out like the Flash, and I'll see you in the next video.